What's up, everybody? This is your boy Jatois, and today we're actually going to take a look at Cauldron. Cauldron is a Minecraft server type that will let you use both Bukkit plugins and also will let you use Forge mods. Now, this is especially beneficial if you are like me, you have some mods that you like within Bukkit, you have some that you like within Forge, but I actually like how smooth Bukkit runs in comparison to Forge. I actually prefer Bukkit. So, with that being said, I really do miss Industrial Craft. So, I decided to go ahead and since I'm already getting it set up, I'm also create a video kind of help everybody else out. So, this is where you get Cauldron, and I will put the link in the description as well. You can see here, what is Cauldron? It is a server jar that lets you use mods and plugins together on your server. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to where you can download the server files. You can see it here. If you want to do it yourself, then you can find the Cauldron server jars here. We're just going to click on 17x, and we want to run a 110. So we're going to drop to 1710. And we're just going to go with the installer win file here. And then it's going to go through this little deal. Just wait. Don't click anything in here. You will probably get adware or malware or worse. Just ignore it. It doesn't exist. Go ahead, skip ad, and it's going to download this file. Now, I've already downloaded this file already, but I'm just going to download it again just so everybody can kind of see. It's not really a big file. So, from here, now what you want to do, you can actually get rid of that, is go to your downloads, and what I have done here is you want to pull this file, that installer file, from your downloads folder and drop it into a new folder. Now for me, I like to keep everything nice, straight, clean. I have a Minecraft experimental folder. This is kind of my staging folder. I use this before I move it actually over to my actual server, which is on a separate computer. So we just go ahead and jump in Minecraft Experimental. It's on my C drive. And within here, you'll see I have pre-created the different server types. I have MCPC, the older version, Craft Bukkit, which is what I was using. That is actually just Bukkit. And then there's Cauldron, which is our newer one. Within Cauldron, I have created a server folder that is currently empty. That is where we're going to install all of our files. Now, this is where you would put your installer file for Cauldron. So here we just go ahead, give it a double click, tell it yes. And from here, let me move you on over, buddy. This is where it's going to show you there are already files at the target directory. Now, we're not installing to that directory. That is the generic roaming.minecraft folder. I don't want it there. So we are going to go from there to local disk C, Minecraft experimental, and into Cauldron. We're going to dump it in this server location and then hit open. Now everything's nice and groovy. Let's go ahead and tell it okay. This is what you'll see. Downloading libraries. And we're just going to wait. It's just going to go through, pull all of its files down, and we should have all of our libraries and the jar file that we need to initialize Cauldron. So let's just go ahead and let that finish. Okay, and we're back. Now this is what you should see if everything is successful. Downloaded 26 libraries and installed Cauldron. I'm going to hit OK there. Now let's jump in our server. Before it was empty, and now we are populated with files and our libraries. So next thing we need to do, you see this Cauldron server jar file. This is what we need to use in order to launch our server. So since I already have some pre-created servers, I'm going to jump back, grab my one from Bukkit that was already working just fine for me. And then we're going to jump back to Cauldron. I'm just going to show you what this file looks like. It's a very simplistic run file, and it has served me well. Just Java XMX, 1 gig, jar, craft bucket. We don't want it to say craft bucket. We need it to say this string here. So what we're going to do here, highlight it, press F2 on your keyboard. That's going to light everything up for you. Now you can take all of this and put it in there if you want. I'll show you. It really doesn't matter what it's named as long as this name here matches what you see here. So I'm just going to take this jar file here, paste this on in, and there you go. I could leave it just like that. And you'll notice my second line here says pause. What pause is going to do, it's going to allow your batch file, when it's running, in case it runs into a problem and it's going to crash and close, it allows the system to pause. And that's going to allow you to see everything that's going on, any error, and be able to look and review and confirm or write down what's going on so you can research it later. Always include your pause. Let's go ahead and save that and exit out. And we're just going to run it. This is what you should be seeing. If it's successful, give it a few seconds and it should start then processing and show you all the files, everything that it's doing. And we're just going to wait because I already know it's going to want to close and it's going to kick us out. Since our pause is there, I'll show you what happens. Okay, here we go. Normally, this would have kicked me out. But you can see at the very bottom here, it says pause. Press any key to continue. That is why we want to put that pause in there. So if we look through here, the reason it failed is because the eula.txt file is currently set to false. So I need to go into this eula file and actually edit its line to say true. So let's go ahead and give that a quick agree, and I'll show you how to do that. If you have the pause in there, you can even press enter, space, doesn't matter. It's going to kick you out. Okay, so now you see one of the files it generated was the EULA. Let's double click on this. And you'll see here, it just means you need to agree to the EULA. Just highlight where it says EULA equal false and just type in true. Bam, save it, and you're done in there. You can even from here take a look at your files for your server, and you see right now it's not generated because it realistically couldn't have generated anything in a short time because the EULA was not signed, so nothing for it to do quite yet. Now that that's done, go ahead, hit run. Bring this back over here, give it a few seconds, and you'll see it's going to start to generate our world, and it's going to throw a few errors at the same time. This is normal. There are some files that don't exist currently, so it's going to throw an error when it does not locate them. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second, once everything starts going. And you can see there's a lot of errors that seem to be going on. It's going to continue on and generate our world. Now, that's another thing I like about Bukkit, which is why I really can appreciate the coding that they did in there, is the fact that in Bukkit, if it runs into a problem within there, it will oftentimes, if there's a bad mod, it oftentimes can continue and just will not load that mod. It's a fantastic little feature they have. So here we are. And let's just scroll up a little bit here. And you'll see this error right here. Failed to load user ban list. That's okay. Not overly concerned with the ban list right now, because the ban list file does not exist. So we can actually drop back here, and you can see it says successfully started server on asterisk, and then it has the port 25565. If you're like me, I usually keep multiple servers running, one being my test server. So oftentimes I will change my ports, and it'll just be increments of 1 or 2 or such. So let's go ahead and exit out here. Now let's jump back to our server properties. Edit. Take a look here. Now sometimes I do play locally, and this server is actually for that. So it's a test/local server. So it's actually going to be online mode of false. We really don't play much PvP, so I'm going to set that to false as well. Then there's your difficulty level, 1 being normal. And for this one, I'm actually going to change it to 0, because this is going to be a... Okay. I probably want to change the name. So, I need to think of what I want to call that name. Actually, let me correct myself. I did say the game type 0 was for creative, and actually it's not. Let me see here. Our difficulty set to 0. Our game mode needs to be game mode of 1. Change that to 1, and we're actually going to tell it not to spawn any monsters. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is give our world a name. I can't pronounce that, but it looks nice. Okay, so from here, give it a model of the day. All right. Give it a save. Drop one out. And from here, before we do another run, we already know that those settings should not cause any particular issues. We need to decide what plugins and what mods we want to use. So, really quickly, you can see we can jump into plugins. I actually have a nice clean folder separating the two here. And these are just some of the mods and plugins I've downloaded. Excuse me. So let's go into plugins. And I have a few here that I really like. I'm going to see if MCMMO works. Whether or not, let me just copy that. Drop that in our plugins folder. Go back to our server folder and jump over to mods. So let's take a look at our mods here. I have Blocklings and Industrial Craft. Both of these should be 110, which is the server version I have. We're just going to paste these both in here. Okay, let's jump back and hit run. If everything goes well, it will not crash and everything will go smoothly. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. It's the fastest thing in the world. Tell you, the more mods and everything you drop in here, it's gonna you will see things start to slow down, but see, everything's looking pretty clean. It's injecting all the new materials. Alright. Spawning the area, everything looks good. Looks like MCMMO was enabled successfully. Okay. So it looks like it worked fairly well. Not an exceptional amount of errors. And you see it did drop us into creative. So everything's looking good here. So what we need to do next Let's take this for a test drive. I'll move this down here to this corner so you can actually see what happens when we log in. We're going to do a multiplayer, direct connect, and here 127.0.0.1 is just our loopback, and we're just going to tell it, since it's just on this computer, I can tell it 127.0.0.1 colon 25565, and I believe I left that generic. Yes, 65. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to join server, see what we get, and you'll see what'll happen. It'll just say UUID of player Jatois is, give you the string here, and you'll see it's not going to connect. You're sitting here going, well, you did everything. Why isn't it connecting? Well, that's a very good question. Now, for Bukkit, let's go ahead and cancel this. For Bukkit, you do not need to have the same plugins installed to your client side. For Forge, you do. So, what you would need to do is go here, copy your two mods that you have, not your plugins, mind you, only your mods. And then we're going to go over to app data. We're going to go to Minecraft, and in here we're going to go to our mods folder. And we can then, anything that's in there, remove. I don't need any of these. All right. Now it's nice and clean. Paste these back in. Now we have these mods in here. I would actually have to close out and restart Minecraft. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, and we're back. Now you can see here that I have Minecraft loaded, and I also have Forge, FML, MCP. You'll see the mods I have running here, Blocklings, and Industrial Craft 2. Now, if you do not have Forge installed, well, you're going to need that installed to the clients that want to connect to your Cauldron server as well. That is why it didn't work. Now, what you would need to do is go to Minecraft Forge, and let me bring that up right quick for you. Here we go. Files.minecraftforge.net. Select your Minecraft version, just as we did earlier, 1.7.10. Download the installer win, and when you download that, it's going to then give you the exact same options here. Over to AdFly once again. Do not click anything in here. It's not the greatest idea you'll ever have. As soon as you can get off this page, go ahead and do it. Okay, so now we have Forge, and you see it's 1187. So you just want to make sure you're always keep an eye on your Forge versions. Now in Chrome, you can click the file and it will open it. And then it's going to give you these options here. Now, for this one, since it's just Forge, you can actually tell it install client and then hit OK. I've already done mine, so I don't need to. Unless I need to match this version of Forge. And get that out of there. Go back to multiplayer, direct connect, back to our loopback, and with port 25565, join server. And there we go. And you'll see here, You can see that we actually have connected. Gave us our ID, client protocol version 1, attempting to join with our current plugins and mods, and that is a successful connection. Bring that up widescreen, and there we are. Now we can go here and you can see that everything's loaded. Here's our industrial craft, here's blocklings. And from here you want to do some testing. Just make sure that everything's working as intended. Otherwise you will have a bad time. Lack of better words. So you can go here and let's see, where's our laser? Here we are. Let's take our laser. Let's give it a quick test. There you go. So industrial craft is working. Quite well, I must say. So we know that's working. And our blocklings are somewhere around here. What we can also do is make sure MCMMO is working. We can do that, grabbing an axe. Alright, and let's do a quick game mode. Alright, well, I don't have permissions. Usually I have pecs on here, but, well, I don't have permissions to do it. That will be something I can cover in another video later. But from here, yeah, you would have your plugins, you would have your mods, everything at your disposal. So hopefully this video is of some use to you. If you do like it, just go ahead, give it a like, give it a nice little thumbs up, smash that subscribe button down below so you can go ahead and follow along, and I'll see if I can add in some additional videos, and hopefully this will assist you when you're creating your Minecraft servers, in this case Cauldron. If you want to see a normal Forge server, I can show you that one as well. Just let me know in the comments. And same for Bukkit. If you want to see how that goes, it's really not that much different from what we just did. I can show you that as well. And I hope to see everybody in the next video. This has been your boy Jatois, and I'm out.